Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. We are from Group 5 where we are here today to discuss a topic that significantly impacts both individuals and economies worldwide, which is inflation. Today, our presentation will focus on inflation in Bangladesh with a particular focus on the period. Before we proceed to the presentation, let me introduce my group member, which consists of Nur Aisyah binti Ismail, Nur ELLYSA SYARIENA binti AZHAR, NURIN SYARAFANA binti Muhammad ZAWAWI, NURUL NAJWA AZREEN binti Muhammad, Nur ALIESYA FARAHIN binti Abu HURAIRAN, and Nur AMALINA AZIFA binti AMBAK. These are the outline of our presentation. In 1.0, we will talk about the introduction, 2.0, background of geographical area and demographic profile in Bangladesh, 3.0, inflation data in 2030 to 2023, 4.0, analyze data, which are trend and issue, why rate dramatically increases and the reasons. In 5.0, effects on inflation, 6.0, how to solve the problem using monetary policy, 7.0, recommendation, and the last one we will conclude the presentation in 8.0.
Introduction. Objective of this report is to analyze the inflation issue in Bangladesh, highlighting its causes, trends, and impacts on the country's economy and society. It also explores solutions and policy recommendations to address inflation, ensuring sustainable economic growth and stability. So the concept of inflation is the inflation refers to the increase in the general price level of goods and services in the economy over a period of time. It can also refer to the condition of too much money chasing too few goods. It reduces the purchasing power of money, making goods and services more expensive. In Bangladesh, inflation is influenced by factors like global commodity prices, currency depreciation, energy costs, and disruptions in supply chains. Effective management of inflation is critical for maintaining economic stability and improving the standard of living.
Geographical area. Bangladesh, located in South Asia, lies between 20 degree 34 feet and 26 degree 38 feet north latitude and 88 degree 1 feet and 92 degree 41 feet east longitude. It covers 147,570 square kilometer. Its territorial water extends 12 nautical miles and its exclusive economic zone stretches 200 nautical miles. The country has mostly flat plains with hills in the northeast and southeast. It borders several India states and Myanmar. Bangladesh has Dhaka as its capital, 8 divisions and 64 districts. Major cities include Chittagong, Khulna and Rajshahi. It has 1,274 rivers, with main rivers being the Padma, Jamuna and Meghna. Next is flag. The national flag of Bangladesh features a dark green field symbolizing the fertile land and a red disk representing the rising sun and the bloodshed for independence. The flag is displayed on government buildings, school and police station, and is flown on vehicles of ministers traveling within or outside the country. To demographic area. First, population. In 2022, the population increased to 169.83 million, with 84.08 million males and 85.65 million females. The annual growth rate was 1.22 per year, and the population density rose from 976 people per square kilometer to 1,119 per square kilometer. There are 41 million households, with 27.8 million in rural areas and 13.2 million in urban areas. In 2023, the population reached 171.4 million, with more females than males, attributed to a high birth rate of 2,035 per 1,000 and a death rate of 5.01 per 1,000. The majority of Bangladesh population, 98%, is ethnic Bengali, while 2% consists of indigenous minorities. Next is economy sector. In 2019 until 2020, Bangladesh GDP grew by 5.24% compared to 2018 until 2019, which was 8.15% due to declines in agriculture, manufacturing and the impact of COVID-19. In 2023, GDP is estimated at $437 billion with a growth rate of 5.82%. In 2022, the inflation rate increased to 9.88% in 2022, indicating that Bangladesh Bangladesh is experiencing significant inflation. Gross national product in Bangladesh increased to 33,479.74 BDT billion in 2023 from 31,520.93 BDT billion in 2022. Our leader, Bangladesh is a parliamentary democracy. The current president is Muhammad Shahabuddin, and the Awami League Party leads the government with Sheikh Hasina as the prime minister. Next is language. The official language of Bangladesh is Bangla, Bengali, an Indo-Aryan language related to Sanskrit. Bengali is the mother tongue of almost the entire population. In Bangladesh, minority groups use their own language, with non-Bengali Muslims speaking Urdu. English is also widely spoken and understood. Bengali has two styles, which is Sadu Bahasa and Chalit Bahasa. Lastly is religion. The majority religion in Bangladesh is Islam, which is 89% of the population, with 92% Sunni, 2% Shia, and small part of 1% Ahmadiyya. Hinduism is the largest minority religion at 10%, while Christianity, Buddhism, and other religions make up less than 1%.
Now I will talk about the graph inflation in Bangladesh in 2030 until 2023. This graph inflation take a period time in 10 years. The graph shows annual change across the years. Negative bar, which is the red bar, show a decrease in value, while the positive bars, which is green bars, show the positive growth and potentially signaling recovery or improvement of the country. In 2003, the graph highlights a period of high inflation, reaching one of the highest points. The sharp decline in inflation after 2030 into 2040 implies that measures such as tightening monetary policy, reduced demand or stabilization of external factors. This high to low transition marks 2030 as a critical inflection point in Bangladesh inflationary trend. In 2040 to 2021, the graph reveals a gradual decline and eventual stabilization of inflation in Bangladesh. This period reflects economic resilience, where policy efforts and global stability have reduced and maintained low inflation levels. It highlights Bangladesh's ability to transition from high inflation to a more stable economic environment. The last one is in 2022 to 2023. The graph shows a sharp increase in inflation, marking a clear shift from the stability seen in earlier years. This significant rise highlights the economy's ability. Managing this inflation effectively, it will be crucial to address global risks while implementing strong domestic policies.
Okay, next, I will continue with trend at issue. In 2030, inflation stood at approximately 70%, marking a period of high inflation. There are three issues why this happened. The first one is global commodity prices, where there are elevated international price of goods. The next one is domestic factor because of subsidiary cuts and economic adjustment. And the last one is policy challenge, which is difficulty in implementing effective monetary and fiscal policy. For the trend in 2014-2016, we can see that inflation steadily declined, which was dropping to 6 to 7% by 2016. There are also three issues because why of this happened. The first one is improving global stability, where there are a decrease in global energy price. Also, there are increase in agricultural output, where we can see that Bangladesh saw stability in rice and other crop production. The last one is monetary policy, where the Bangladesh have tightened up the monetary policy in this Bangladesh Bank. For 2017 to 2019, inflation remained stable, which is hovering around 5 to 6%. This indicated a period of relative control. This happened because of sustained growth, which is stable in food production and economy. The next one is policy effectiveness, where there are balance in fiscal and monetary policy. The last issue is challenge, where there are income disparities. For 2020 to 2019-21, inflation show an increase cyclically during COVID-19 pandemic, though it still remaining under 7%. This issue this is cause of supply chain disruption, where there are global and domestic lockdown affected the supplier of good. The next one issue is food price volatility, where they are effective in agriculture due to weather epidemic. And the last one is global uncertainty, where there are rising costs of importing of good. The last trend is in 2022 to 2023, where there are inflation dramatically rise. That's surprising 10% in 2023, making it as a higher rate in 2023. There are three issues also. The first one is Russia and Ukraine war, where there are disrupt global supplier, marking price increase worldwide. And next one is currency depression in Bangladesh, which Bangladesh taka lost value against the US dollar, making import more expensive. And last one is energy crisis, where there are rising global oil and gas price.
Next, I will talk about why inflation dramatically increased in Bangladesh. In 2030 to 2040, the inflation rose from 6.78% to 7.35%, primarily driven by political instability, supply chain disruption, rising food and energy prices, and expansionary monetary policies. These factors created a challenging environment for both consumers and businesses. Rising costs of living, especially for basic necessities, significantly affect low and middle-income households, while businesses face higher operational costs and reduced profitability. This period underscores the need for stable governance, better supply chain management, and balanced monetary policies to control inflation in the future. While in 2022 to 2023, the inflation surged again, reaching a peak of 9.49% in November 2023, that influenced by global factors such as rising import costs and economic uncertainties. Addressing these issues requires robust policies targeting energy security, food sufficiency, and economic resilience to prevent similar crises in future. By addressing structural and inefficiencies and preparing for global uncertainties, Bangladesh can achieve sustainable economic stability and ensure better living standards for its population.
Okay, next I will talk about the reason of inflation in Bangladesh. There are 5 reasons of inflation in Bangladesh. The first one is supply chain disruption, where Bangladesh has experienced cost-push inflation due to the aftermath of Ukraine-ALIESYA war. Actually, both of Ukraine and Russia is a major supplier to Bangladesh. So when this war happened, it leads to disrupt the supply chain of many goods and service that led to delay, shortage, high cost of production and transportation in Bangladesh. The next one is rising oil price. The oil price that have raised by 40 to 50%, make Bangladesh raise its full price too, so that it can match with the international rate. This made production and transport more expensive, as Bangladesh really depends on imported oil and gas for transportation. The next one is expensive food price, where it become more unpredictable due to the factor like bad weather, peace and global market trade that make instant item like rice and vegetable more costly for people to buy. The next one is weaker currency, where Bangladesh taka lost its value compared to US dollar by 25% since January 2022. This making import more expensive, and also Bangladesh need to import a lot of its need in its station good. The last one is increase in administration costs, where Bangladesh need to deal with the pandemic and its effect. This make the government of Bangladesh need to spend more on salary, social service and development project that has caused pressure to the inflation and the fiscal imbalance in Bangladesh.
So firstly, I can explain about effect of inflation. Firstly, rising cost of living. Inflation drive up the cost of essential goods and service, making it harder for a low-income group to afford necessity. According to a study of the South Asia Network on Economic Modeling, 28% of the household are forced to debt to survive. Second, increased risk of starvation. Escalating price of the staple food such as rice, wheat, cooking oil, leave many families unable to afford adequate nutrition, leading to reduced food intake. Thirdly is decline the standard of living. As a cost rise, quality of life decline due to the economic strain, social inequality and political instability. Communities struggle to maintain basic living standard. Four is decreased export competitive. Higher production costs like raw material and labor raise export price, making goods less competitive in global market. For example, Bangladesh, a major textile export, face challenge in international trade. Lastly is reliance on IMF loans. Government may cut subsidy to tackle inflation, but this often lead to borrowing from institution like IMF. Bangladesh under Hasina's government borrow 4.5 billion to stabilize the national economy. So to decrease the inflation, Bangladesh bank recently adopt to use hawkish monetary policy stand for control inflation using a few ways. First way is increase interest. Increasing interest rate reduce money supply and curbs inflation. For example, in 2022, Bangladesh Bank raised the rate to 10% of rates. In 2023, rates increase 9.5%, significant hike after decades. Next is boost foreign currency reserve, strengthening reserve stabilize currency and support imports. In 2023, loan from the IMF increased reserve to counter a drop from 48 billion in 2021 to 24.3 billion. Other ways in Bangladesh Bank to decrease inflation is scrolling peak exchange rate. A gradual adjustment system prevent extreme currency fluctuation. Bangladesh Bank use a control corridor to maintain balance and market stability. Lastly is adjust repo rate. Raising the repo rate reduce inflation by controlling liquidity. IMF recommend increasing to 9% to maintain economic stability.
This is the recommendations for avoid inflation. Number one, we have encouraged savings. We need to encourage the community to save and manage finance well to avoid excessive spending. When spending a lot of money, poverty will occur and the poverty rate will also increase and ultimately cause national inflation. Number two, we have limit government spending. Means need to control unnecessary government spending to reduce excess demand in the economy. Number three, we have provide emergency savings. Means through emergency savings, they can save from disaster that may damage their property. They can start savings emergency funds through a basic savings account. Number four, we have make investment. They need to consider investing in asset that can maintain or increase value. There are various types of asset that can explore and invest, such as gold, silver, real estate, and stable company shares. Number five, we have improved key production sectors. They need to ensure adequate supplies of goods and services by increasing productivity, especially key production sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and energy. That's all.
The last part is conclusion. In conclusion, inflation in Bangladesh poses a significant challenge driven by both global and domestic factors such as supply chain disruption, currency depreciation, and escalating food and energy prices. While inflationary pressures have adverse effect on the cost of living, economic stability, and export competitiveness, strategic interventions like prudent monetary policies, increase foreign currency reserves, and improve production efficiencies can mitigate this challenge. Moving forward, a collaborative approach involving the government, financial institutions, and international support is crucial to ensure sustainable economic growth while maintaining price stability and protecting vulnerable communities.